So today, we're going to dive into a really powerful story about how education can completely reshape a person's life and give them the courage to find their own voice. We're going to follow the journey of a young girl who everyone wrote off as a simpleton, only to watch her become the hero of her own story.
And let's just jump right in with the very first line of the story. This isn't just setting the scene, it's the entire conflict in a single sentence. Her real name, her true self, is Suleika. But the world has slapped this label on her, Bholi. Her whole life is basically a tug of war between these two names.
So what does Bholi actually mean? It means a simpleton, a fool. Just try to imagine being called that your entire life, by everyone you know. It's not just a nickname, it's a cage. It's a box they put you in, and it's built by what everyone else thinks of you.
Okay, so let's get to know the girl behind this awful label. Her childhood wasn't just tough, it was a constant stream of neglect and ridicule. And the worst part, it all started right there in her own home. From the very beginning, Bholi was treated like she was a burden. You see, her brothers and sisters were healthy and good-looking, but she was just ignored. The clothes she wore were old hand-me-downs. No one really paid attention to her. She was just there, in the background.
And you can see here, it was just one tragedy after another. It started with a fall when she was just a baby, which probably caused some brain damage. Then she got smallpox, which left her scarred. All of this trauma meant she developed a stammer when she finally learned to speak. And of course, the other kids made fun of her for it, which just made her retreat even more.
And the most heartbreaking part of all of this, even her own father had basically given up on her. He didn't look at her and see his daughter. He saw a problem he couldn't solve. In a world where a girl's value was all tied up in who she could marry, he thought she had no chance.
So how does someone possibly break free from a life like that? Well, the big turning point comes from a totally unexpected place. And honestly, for a pretty strange reason. She gets sent to school. Bholi is absolutely terrified. For all she knows, she's being sold off, just like her family's old cow. See, her family isn't sending her to school for her own good, not at all. They've already decided that with her ugly face and lack of sense, she's never going to get married. So her mom's attitude is basically, let the teachers at school worry about her.
And this just lays out the two completely different worlds Bholi is living in. At home, she's a problem to be passed off, a dumb cow. But at school, she hears something totally new for the first time in her life, a soft, kind voice. She meets someone who sees a person, not a problem.
This is the moment everything starts to change. We're about to see how one person's compassion can spark a total transformation. This is where Suleika, the real person, finally starts to step out from behind the shadow of Bholi.
I mean, can you imagine being so scared you can't even say your own name? She gets to the classroom and just can't get the words out. She starts to stammer, and then she just breaks down and starts crying, hiding her face while the other girls laugh at her. That's how deep her fear and insecurity ran. But then her teacher says this to her. Just think about how powerful those words would be to a kid who has only ever heard insults. This isn't just a nice comment. It's a promise. A promise of a future where people will respect her, not laugh at her. And right there, in that moment, something inside her just clicks. The story puts it so beautifully. Her heart started throbbing with a new hope and a new life. It was that simple. Education, mixed with a little bit of kindness, had just planted the first seed of self-worth.
So, years pass. The village grows, and so does Bholi. She's educated, she's more confident, but her biggest test, her final exam, if you will, doesn't happen in a classroom. It happens on her wedding day, where her past and her future are about to have a major collision. Her parents set up a marriage for her with this guy, Bishambhar Nath. Now, he has money, but he's also almost as old as her dad, he has a limp, and he's a widower with his own grown-up kids. Her parents think it's a fantastic deal for a witless one like Bholi, and she actually agrees to it mainly to protect her family's honor. But right in the middle of the ceremony, the groom, Bishambhar, finally sees the pockmarks on her face. And his reaction? He stops everything and demands money. It's a shocking look at the social evil of dowry. He literally puts a price on her scars, 5,000 rupees. The tension is just, wow. Her father, Ramlal, puts his turban, a symbol of his honor, right at Bishambhar's feet, begging him to go through with the wedding. But Bishambhar just has this triumphant, greedy smile. In his mind, He's already won.
Oh, but he is so wrong, because suddenly, in a voice that is clear and loud, with absolutely no stammer, Bholi speaks up. The dumb cow finds her voice, right there in front of the whole village, and she takes the wedding garland and throws it right into the fire.
The guests are totally shocked. They start whispering, calling her shameless, which just shows you how society often reacts when a woman stands up for herself. But Boli doesn't even flinch. She tells everyone she will not marry such a mean, greedy, and contemptible coward. The transformation is happening right before their eyes.
And with that single act of defiance, she wasn't just rejecting a groom. She was rejecting the name Bholi and everything it stood for. She was finally, completely, becoming Sulekha.
And you can really see her entire journey right here. On the left, you have Bholi, the simpleton, the burden, the girl who stammered. And on the right, you have Sulekha, educated, confident, and now she's her parents' support system, not their burden.
What's so amazing here is she doesn't just say no. She has a plan, a future that she created for herself. She tells her father she's going to become a teacher at the very same school that changed her life, and she's going to take care of them in their old age.
And in the crowd, her teacher is watching all of this unfold. This line from the story just says it all. She looks at Bholi with the pride of an artist looking at their finished masterpiece. The transformation is complete.
This whole story is really a testament to how one person's belief in you, one teacher's kindness, can literally change everything. It kind of leaves you with a question to ponder, right? Who was the person that saw the masterpiece in you?